Hey everyone, hey, Kelly Bryant. All right, we are just gonna jump right in here, and I am gonna share some of my tips on how to rejuvenate your creativity, especially when you feel like being creative is like drawing water out of a stone. So what you're gonna wanna do is surround yourself with really creative people. And often just being in a creative environment will help inspire you and refresh your creative mind. And I am doing that right now in a group of a few thousand people that we are challenged with going out here and doing this 14-day challenge. And so I can tell you for a fact that just watching all of these people and seeing all their excitement for everything, it makes me want to sit down and really be more creative with what I'm doing. So that's going to be your first step, which is just, again, I see lots of people joining here. Thank you guys so much. But surround yourself with really creative people. That's one of your first steps that you're going to do. Next, if you're wanting to put something on paper, just sit down and just start somewhere, because as you begin to just put your thoughts on paper, just with a few lines, the brain starts to loosen up and it's easier to break through some of those barriers and come up with some really good ideas. Hey everyone, thank you for joining. Next, you are gonna wanna expose yourself to books, maybe even books that you wouldn't normally read. If you're an artist, you're going to look at art that you wouldn't normally look at. And the same thing with a musician. You want to listen to other music that you don't normally listen to. And really by doing that, you never stop learning and you always have new inspiration. You are going to want to get in a quiet spot, sit still, meditate, stop thinking, clear your mind. You cannot receive any sort of creativity when you have chaos going around you. Your mind does not work that way. So you absolutely need to find some quiet spot in your place and just sit still and let those thoughts come to you. Because if your mind is cluttered, you're not going to get any creativity coming out of that. And I know I've listened to some podcasts, and I remember specifically one woman who said she had 5 kids, that she would get them situated and she would go sit in her closet and just have some quiet time to really start to have some creativity that flows through her. Now, creativity is a muscle. It is, the more you use it, the more creative you'll get. So carry, if you have your iPhone with you, I personally use an app that I can just, every time I get a really good idea, I just stop immediately and go put it in the app where I have ideas or content. Because we all know that you have, how many times have you said, like, I've had this really great idea and all of a sudden life got in the way. The dog started barking, the kids started screaming, the doorbell started ringing, and then now you do not remember who or the thought that you had, the really great idea. And that is so frustrating. I hate when that happens. So if you're a person that likes paper and pencil, just make sure you have a board somewhere or paper somewhere. Keep your pen close by so you don't have to go run looking for a pen, and just capture that idea as soon as possible in writing somewhere so that it does not escape you. Remove obstacles to creativity. So if you've got a friend, the phone is ringing, and you know that friend is going to complain to you all night, don't answer the phone, because you lose that time that you have for creativity. Okay? So this is a really huge one for me, and I used to always tell myself, because in my profession that I've been in for 26 years, it did not require me to have any creativity at all. It was like, go do your job, don't talk to anyone, and get it done, right? So I spent a lifetime saying, I am not creative. I wish I were creative, and I would see so many creative things being done, and I would say, oh, I wish I were creative. I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that. I wish I could do what you're doing. And so finally I stopped doing that because I learned along the way that words mean something. So you do not want to say that to yourself. Do not say anything like that to yourself, and begin to just say, I am creative and I can create. And that will open up your brain and loosen it up, like I said in the very beginning. Hey, Tammy, how are you? Hey, Jennifer. Thank you guys so much for joining. So if someone says to you, you're not creative, you just absolutely say, I do not receive that. And I learned that from somebody, one of my really good friends, and he'll probably know who he is if he watches this. But I love that because he says, I receive that, or I don't receive that. So those are my tips and on rejuvenating your creativity. So if you want some of the more ideas, just shoot me a message and I will send those over to you. So you guys, that's all I have for tonight. Y'all have a good evening, and thank everybody for hopping on here.